Hello, today I'm gonna show you what I think is the only tutorial on YouTube on how to make a proper diesel engine in the automation game. So this engine is gonna have not only the power and torque characteristics of a real life diesel engine, but it's also gonna have the sound, both in automation and when you export it into BeamNG drive. And that really is key here. I don't think anybody else has figured out a way to actually make a diesel engine in this game. Now this is going to be a 4-cylinder, and the methods I'll be using sadly aren't applicable universally across engine types. As far as I know, this only works for 4-cylinder engines. You can also make diesel V6s, but you have to use different methods. I can show you how to do that if there is interest for it. And I can also make a tutorial of how to create this van if anybody is interested, because this is what I'm going to be putting the engine into. So yeah, let's make the engine. It's gonna be an inline 4 with a cast iron block. We're gonna go for 2.2 liters of displacement. We're gonna decrease the bore, make this a small bore long stroke engine, you know, an under square engine, because that's how diesels tend to be designed in real life. And I think this should do it. It's gonna be an overhead cam, 2 valve per cylinder with a standard iron head. We're gonna crank up the quality to 4 because a diesel engine needs to be really sturdy. We're gonna go with forged internals, harmonic damper, give the balancing mass some weight. We're gonna run very high compression because that's the way diesel engines are designed. We're gonna pull the cam profile down to 0 to get that low end power, low end torque. I mean, we're gonna have a low red line of 4000 RPM. I'll make finer adjustments later. We're gonna make it NA this time, I think. We're gonna make it mechanically injected. And we're gonna make it run lean. And we're gonna give it retarded timing to make sure that we will get away with using that high compression ratio. And speaking of that, we're gonna be using LNG again to be able to handle that compression ratio. And to get the proper loudness, this is one of the most crucial details. You're gonna want to use a race intake manifold because you're gonna want to get a lot of intake noise from the engine. That's what gives it the diesel-like sound. Yeah, this is essentially where the diesel sound comes from. And we're gonna go with cast low headers again to get that low end torque. And I think we are not going with a catalytic converter. We'll leave the quality of the exhaust at 0. We're gonna want to get some more loudness out of this thing, so we'll increase the diameter of the exhaust. See if we can increase it by changing the headers. Also, we don't want to make the exhaust look silly either, so we'll crank down the quality to get more loudness. Yeah. Maybe we will give it a slightly more aggressive cam just to get some power out of this thing. Make some minor adjustments to get some more power. But then again, it's an NA diesel, so it's obviously not gonna be powerful, you know. We can advance the timing a little bit, maybe. Maybe lower the compression a bit. Yeah. 80 horsepower, that sounds pretty reasonable for a 2.2 liter naturally aspirated diesel engine. Yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and be satisfied with that. And now we're gonna see how it sounds. We're also gonna adjust actually the balancing mass to get the idle RPM right. But you know what? The idle RPM is always much higher in BeamNG. So we're gonna just crank this up. Now take a listen. We'll increase the throttle. You can tell it has a pretty realistic diesel sound. And now we're gonna try it out in BeamNG. Alright, here we are. Yeah, you can tell it has that proper diesel sound. Just take a listen as we drive. It's geared kind of badly, but you know, you get the deal. It sounds like a diesel. Yeah, I really should have geared it differently, but anyways, that's pretty much it.